Alright, I'm going to do some pre-shading. I've yet to prime the top. I'm just doing the bottom colour, which is Royal Air Force Sky. This is the one I'm using. So it's AK Real Colour 290 and it's FS34424. Because that's a really light colour, I'm going to pre-shade this model. I'm not doing the splatter technique, I'm just going to keep it simple. So the grey primer, pre-shading panel lines and details, because this is such a light colour. I'm going to use not black, I'm going to use a grey, so just dark grey, it doesn't really matter, whatever colour you want. Black just means if you use black, it'll take more of this to cover it up. And then when I say cover it up, I mean obliterate it, I mean it takes longer to knock it back to where you want it to be. And of course that's an individual thing for everyone with pre-shading, those who do it, not everyone does it. So I've mixed it up again, mixed it heavy. You don't want it spitting and splattering, so probably again I'm probably around 70% thinners or 60% thinners to the paint. Wham my needle in. It's got the guns and the nose, even though there's no detail there, you can darken that up. And remember, with your pre-shading, it doesn't have to be a perfect neat line. It really needs to be a bit rough, because otherwise in the final appearance it'll look too much like a grid or squares. So you want to change it up a bit. That's why in some areas you dirty it up more. Dust. Wing roots as well. Alright, so I'm going to turn my extraction unit on, finish this off, so from here on in it'll be like the last video I did, it's all sped up. Alright, done. So you just go as far as you want to go and let the pre-shading effect show through that suits your taste. Don't worry about them. I haven't filled them in because you won't see them when the engines get plugged on. I'll let that dry, and then you can have a gloss clear coat. Alright, top is primed. So before I primed it grey, I sprayed the clear parts black, then come over with the grey, same mix or paint. This time I've pre-shaded with black, just old Tamiya XF1 flat black, because the top colours are darker. So that's the scheme. So it's extra dark sea grey and dark slate grey. We're using two brands for this because I don't have the colours in the same brand, and I'm not fussed about using the same brands anyway. But anyway, so I'm using AK. It's Real Colour 294. It's the Royal Air Force dark slate grey, and then SMS premium, so it's lacquer paint, and it's the extra dark sea grey, which is a British code, I think BS640. I do have, there's dark sea grey as well. This is the only bottle of extra dark sea grey I could find. I've got paint everywhere. You start off with paints, and you buy more, and you buy more, and then you come back and you think, oh, there's that bottle there. I got two bottles. Alright, so I'm starting with the slate grey. It's maybe a bit lighter, similar darkness really. Alright, so I just got the instructions behind me in the extraction booth, and I'm not one for, oh, it's the third rivet in and 6mm back. I just go from what I see, and that'll do. Alright, I'm going to just put the extraction in on now and just paint. Alright, so now, just to liven up a bit, I'm going to get some flat white, mix it in to fade. It suggests faded paint. I haven't done this technique for a while because I've been spraying it. You've seen my other builds, I've been doing that, which is quicker than this, but it's a bit of a different method to get similar results, I guess. I have no method, I guesstimate. Spray it. Just try it in a spot. I don't know if how well that shows up, but I can see a stark difference. But when you put a clear gloss over it, it sort of blends it all back together, so it won't stand out as much. All right. Just going to put a little bit more thinner in. Yeah. I forgot to do that bit. So now that I've lightened the paint, I'm going to have to do the rest of it and then come back and do that one again. Going to pause that while I fix up this bit I missed. Alright, time for the extra dark sea grey. Just pausing now a minute. I'll have another look, see if I have any extra dark sea grey lying around. That don't look right to me. It looks like it's blue. Alright, I found Mr. Hobby one. This might have been me too. I'm pretty sure I shook it up good, but maybe I didn't shake it up good enough. But anyway, now I need to go back, start from the beginning and spray in the light grey, prime it and pre-shade, so I'll come back when I'm done all that. Alright, take two. Before I'm not going to slag off on that paint because, like I said, maybe I didn't mix it properly, and I use this brand heaps. It's great paint. It just, either I didn't mix it properly, or maybe it's a bad batch, or maybe that is extra dark sea grey, but it looked blue to me, so I'm going with something I am familiar with. Alrighty. Alright, gloss coat and the clear coat's on. As you can see, I've masked off for my roundels. Aussie roundels are easy enough, you only need a couple of circles. Today I've used my expensive circle cutter, but you can pick up, it's a Mk.VI one. I've been using it for years and it's just still the same blade, and I don't know what I bought was probably like $5 or something. I don't know what they are now, but they're pretty cheap. So no doubt the real aircraft, they just would have masked and sprayed the roundel over the camouflage, but I don't do that. I go back, so I'm the same treatment as I started. I'm going to prime it grey, pre-shade, same as the underside. Underside I could probably get away with, but I'll do it anyway. And spray in the white, then I'll have to cut some more circles to mask the white off, and then I'll spray the blue, which will be the outer edge, obviously. So and the tail one, I just measured the decals and masked off the size of the decal and put tape around it, and then remove the mask. So I'm going to paint that up. I'm not showing it this time, it's simple enough, and we'll come back and have a look. Alright, I've overlooked a step in the instructions for the rear access hatch. They just have it closed, there's no open option, and going by the part, I don't know how it would open because I can't fold it down because that'll be in the way. So I'm just going to have it closed, but I'll need to remove the pins off that because it should have been put in before I put the fuselage together. So I've missed that, so don't do what I did. Front one you can have open. Where's that at? Same thing though, they'd have you put it in before you put the wing on, but that's making life difficult to paint. So I have it open, but I'm gonna have to work out. I'm gonna have to cut one of the pins off of it and sort it out. Right, put the landing gear legs together. They're not simple really how they're engineered. So you got, when you join them, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact to glue, and the plate at the back, which doesn't fit great. It's sort of, you're gonna need to glue it and pinch it in to hold it. That's my experience anyway. Yeah, just not great. It's starting to be the theme for me for this kit. Pretty much over it. Alright, so I did my roundels just on the underside. I've done the decals. Well, one good thing I've found with Revell is their decals. They perform very well. This time I used Mk.VI decal fix. I'm starting to take to this over microsole. This is a little bit more aggressive than microsole, so if you're going to use it for the first time, I'd try it on a scrap decal or something to make sure how it reacts to your decals, because everyone's brands of decals can be different. Some can be very sensitive and they'll melt easy, and others just, you got to use bloody airbrush thinner to get them to sit down. Right, an engine. So I ended up painting that metal part on the cowl. I looked up anthracite again, and one thing said it was gunmetal, which I think sounds right. So I mixed that soot black colour I showed earlier on in this build with gunmetal, probably about 50-50, and airbrushed that on. I think later on, I don't know if it's later on or different variants had copper on that area, but this one is not. Hand painted the exhaust several different colours with AK 3rd gen acrylics. So I started off with like a rusty brown, and then very watered down grey blue or blue grey, and then a rusty colour over top, thinned with water, not thinners. When I attached them, after I've weathered it, I was airbrushing some exhaust, if I remember. Originally I said how I was going to score the top there so I know where to drill the holes. Then I forgot all about that and went in with super glue and cleaned up that seam. So now I'll have to do what I said back then, is you have to guess them if you don't mark them, but that's all right. That'll be so I think those two have got to go in, and the glass piece on top of that, and there's another mast behind that which runs the antenna wire to the tail, which I'll use easy line for. So I've painted up these doors for the underside, so that one's I'm gonna have to glue it in. This one I won't put on yet. See, I've cut one of the pins off so I can just twist it in. It'll still be alright, it'll still hold. And I put 2 decals on them, which I'm about to do. And still got to paint the propellers up, and I've got to weather it, which I'll just use a wash again, my Flory wash. So basically that's all I need to show really. I'll come back and have a look at it at the end. We'll have a look at the final result. Alright, all done, thank God. I'm really over this kit. The putting the wheels in is a nightmare. They don't fit. I ended up having to sand bits and pieces just to get them to fit where they're supposed to. They're very confusing as to how they should sit. The instructions are a bit vague. They do show an enlarged picture of it, but it's I just found them frustrating, and it's a letdown on the engineering of the whoever designed the kit. But anyway, I got them in there. So hindsight's a wonderful thing. Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't go out and buy this kit. I'd just build a Tamiya one. However, it's modelling. Sometimes kits throw challenges at you, and to beat it into submission is a satisfying feeling. And if I built this one and then I went and built a Tamiya one and sat next to it, I would probably get more satisfaction out of this one, knowing what I had to do to whip it into shape. And this kit comes with an Australian scheme in the box, so it's correct. I can't remember now. The Tamiya one I did years ago, I can't remember if I could build it out of the box or I had to get other parts, but I know I had to get aftermarket decals, whereas this kit comes with Australian decals. So that is a bonus for me, and probably for some Aussies who were keen on building it. And again, this was my experience with it. 10 people build it, they probably have 10 different experiences, but I had trouble with the canopy and the wing section on the underside that mates to the fuselage, which I showed. Just, yeah, frustrating. But anyway, she's all done. I like the look of it. Of course I do. It's Australian Air Force aircraft, and the Beaufighter is a beautiful aircraft. I love the shape of it. I love twin engine aircraft, and I quite like it. As I mentioned later on, we painted them foliage green. The one I built, the Tammy one I built years ago, was all over foliage green, which is, I like the colour, but I prefer a camouflage as in looking at a model. And I like the look of this one. It's a favourite scheme of mine, the sky with the slate grey and dark sea grey. It's a striking camouflage scheme. But anyway, thank God she's done. This one's not worthy of being sat on a competition table, so I'll be flogging off to get my money back on it. I paid extra because I got it from England. It's still not out in Australia, God knows when. So you want a kit, sometimes you got to get it from overseas if you're really keen on it, you want to get stuck into it, which I was with this one. But anyway, I'm just going to say that was an experience. I'll add some still photos of it. Thanks for watching the build.